Hey guys, what's up? It's Bronte75 here and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be starting an all new retrospective centered around the Mega Man series on my channel, and that is going to be the Mega Man X retrospective. So to those of you who have been watching my videos for a while, you would know that I have previously done the classic Mega Man retrospective where I covered all 11 mainline games as well as 3 spin-offs. And we're going to be tackling the series that takes place directly after it. So here it is right here. I've been wanting to do this for a while now. And ever since I became a fan of the Mega Man franchise. And Mega Man X, well, Mega Man X1 was the first ever Mega Man game that I played. And it was also the first game that I ever showcased on my channel 6 years ago. In 2020. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy how my perspective on this franchise has changed, especially in regards to playing the classic games and getting better at them. Oh my goodness, it's like I honestly cannot believe a lot of things have changed within the past 5 years between 2019 and 2024. Pretty crazy stuff. So yeah, anyways, so that's what you're seeing right here. Just like with the classic Mega Man Legacy collections, I will be playing the X series games on its own Legacy collection as well. So yeah, so here it is right here. So the Mega Man X Legacy collection came out back in 2018, and yeah, I just realized it's gonna be turning 8 years old this month. Pretty crazy. Yeah, so obviously I am playing on the Legacy Collection 1, which has the first 4 games, X1, X2, X3, and X4, and Legacy Collection 2 has the last 5 games. So yeah, so pretty much how this is going to go. Also, just like in the classic Mega Man retrospective, in which I recommend checking out before tuning into this one. Pretty much like that, I will be playing through every single mainline game, and I will be doing some spin-offs as well. I do plan on covering Mega Man Extreme 2 for the Game Boy Color and Mega Man X Command Mission for the Nintendo GameCube. So I will be picking up a physical copy of that, so that will be showcased. So yes, so anyways, let's go on and get started with Mega Man X1 for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Let's go on and get started here. So I forget to mention, but this series stars an all-new character and an advanced version of the original Mega Man, and that is Mega Man X, or otherwise only known as just X for short. As I think it does get revealed eventually, but the meaning of his name is that he has limitless potential. But anyways, it looks like a person named Dr. Kane is logging into this software or capsule, and yep, it looks like he is viewing Dr. Thomas Light's final creation, Mega Man X. And we're gonna read what happens here. Warning: X is the first of a new generation of robots which contain an innovative new feature, the ability to think, feel, and make their own decisions. However, this ability could be dangerous. If X were to break the first rule of robotics, a robot must never harm a human being. The results will be disastrous, and I fear that no force on Earth could stop him. Approximately 30 years will be required before we can safely confirm his reliability. Unfortunately, I would not live to see that day, nor do I have anyone to carry on my work. Therefore, I have decided to seal him in this capsule, which will test his internal systems until his reliability has been confirmed. Please do not disturb the capsule until that time. X possesses great risks as well as great possibilities. I can only hope for the best. September 18th, 20XX, Dr. Thomas Light. So there is our reveal right there. That shows that X was created by Dr. Light, who was a character from the classic Mega Man series. He's made a lot of creations. As it was revealed in Mega Man 3, Proto Man was the first robot that Dr. Light had created. Then he made Mega Man, or actually no. Then he made Rock, who would eventually. Then he eventually made Rock, who was originally a household robot, until Dr. Wily began conquering the world, due to having a falling out with Light, as we saw in the opening cutscene for Mega Man 11. So that's when Light decided to upgrade Rock and have him become Mega Man to be the ultimate fighting robot. He also created Roll, his sister, who may as well be X's sister as well. But yeah. So there's gonna be a lot of it. So I honestly not realized after replaying all the classic Mega Man series for the for that retrospective, like I begin to notice a lot of things that end up foreshadowing this series. It's kind of crazy how when I first became a fan of this series, when I first became a fan of this franchise back in 2018, I was always playing the X series games more than the classic series until 2024, when I started to get better, when I started playing and eventually getting better at the classic games. And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to do a retrospective on that series. Cause man oh man, there's gonna be a whole lot to talk about, especially after we finish this game. So anyways, let's go on and get started right here. Enough of my rambling. First things first, we're gonna go to option mode. So because I'm playing the Legacy Collection version, it now shows the PlayStation 4's button icons. So pretty much how I play this game is that I always have shot on the square button, jump with the X button, no pun intended, dash with circle, weapon select L. I have weapon select L on. Oh my god, I have weapon select L for L1, and weapon select right for R1, and the menu, the options button. You can also, it's also got a sound test on here, which I think this is the only X game to have a sound test. I think it's the only X game to have a sound test, but you can already view the music player in the Legacy Collection. So yeah, it's pretty cool, and you can also view the sound effects as well. Anyways, we should be good to go. Anyways, this theme, by the way, I forgot to bring it up. Man, but honestly though, that's honestly such a good way to start. This is honestly such a good way to start the game, to where we get to see Dr. Cain, who, by the way, makes no appearance in this game. He appears in the next game, which is Mega Man X2. All right, so here we are. So yep, for the first time on this channel, we are playing as a character who isn't Mega Man himself, but rather a more advanced version, the successor, and technically his younger brother. Technically the younger brother of Mega Man. So this guy right here is Mega Man X, or just X for short. As I previously stated, the reason he is named this is because he has limitless potential. Anyways, here's the opening stage, and already we're greeted to a mini boss. What the heck? Alright, let's take this dude out. Nice. Alright, so I am gonna perform a trick right here, to where I am gonna take intentional damage so that I can use my invincibility frames to go behind him. Alright, so yep, here's the another B mini boss. So yeah, you can literally just damage this and go behind him. Yeah, just do that. Nice. So yep, so X pretty much plays exactly the same as Mega Man did, as well as Proto Man and Bass in the classic series. He can charge shot. He can still shoot. He can still jump. He can charge shot, which has been a thing since Mega Man 4. However, what's new to the X series that has never been in any classic series game is that X has the ability to do a wall jump, and he can actually do for example, on this right here. Okay, oops, probably should not have turned around there. Go away. So for I'll probably show it. I think I'll probably show it off later, or okay, no, I'll probably show it off later. But yeah, X has the ability to wall jump. something that Mega Man was incapable of doing. So, and this move is going to be super useful for avoiding bombless pits, because man oh man is that move such a lifesaver. So yeah, we're gonna be seeing that a lot. Anyways, I'm gonna take intentional damage here. I'm just waiting for this next enemy to show up, because there is a villain that's X is unable to win against. And I do want to take intentional damage, so that way I do want to save some time. Alrighty. Alright, so here he comes. Here he is. Who the heck is this guy? And why is he using some sort of a mech armor? But oh gosh, oh dang. Oh my gosh. Straight up grabbing him like a ragdoll. You worthless piece of scrap metal. Did you think you could defeat me? Oh my gosh. What's that? Whoa! Another new character? What? Wow, and of course this jerk gets away. But anyways, it looks like X just got saved by another new character. I wonder who he is. Anyways, he says, I guess I'm not powerful enough to defeat him. X, you shouldn't expect to defeat him. He is designed to be a war machine. Remember, you have not reached full power yet. If you use all the abilities you were designed with, you should become stronger. You may even become as powerful as I am. I'll scout ahead and collect as much information on Sigma's fortress as I can. Sigma? I wonder who that could be. Hopefully that's not the main. Hopefully that's not another new main villain that we have to deal with, right? Anyways, I'll meet up with you when you get there. See you later. X, I know you can do it. But anyways, jokes aside, this character's name is Zero, and I have mentioned this guy a couple of times. I think since my Mega Man 7 video. But Zero is okay, let me rephrase. This character's name is Zero, and this is a character who I've mentioned a couple of times since my Mega Man 7 video during my classic Mega Man retrospective. But this guy was created by Dr. Wily, believe it or not. So yeah. So yeah, more on that later though. Anyways, I love that password theme, by the way. But anyways, so alright, so even though we're not playing a classic series Mega Man game anymore, it still kind of feels like a classic Mega Man game, as you still have the standard 8 Robot Masters, or not actually Robot Masters, but Mavericks this time around as bosses. So yeah, so again, in a way, it does sort of feel like classic Mega Man, only except that it's X this time. But anyways, so here are our main 8 bosses, which has been a thing since Mega Man 2. Oh yeah, so the cool thing that you can do in this game is that you can actually view the speculations of these Mavericks. So anyways, we're just gonna be going over them. Alright, so we have Chill Penguin, Launch Octopus, Armored Armadillo, Storm Eagle, Spark Mandrill, Sting Chameleon, Boomer Kawenger, and Flame Mammoth. We're gonna be taking on Chill Penguin first, as he is the Maverick that literally everybody who plays this game goes after first, because there is an upgrade that we can get that's going to help a lot for the rest of this game. So anyways, so also just okay, so this is a lot like Mega Man 6 actually, where you can actually view some brief information about the boss. But anyways, so on Chill Penguin, it says height 5.34 foot, and for his weight it says 237 IB. His attacks are shotgun, ice, and sliding. So yeah, so we are going to be taking him on first, since he is a pretty easy boss. So why the heck not? But even in an X series game, or at least this game specifically, we still hear the Robot Master theme, even though the Robot Masters have long since been gone. Because by the way, you know how in the opening cutscenes of most of the classic Mega Man games, to where they say that where they say that the games take place in 20XX. For the X series, the year is now 21XX. So that means that this series takes place approximately 100 years after the classic series. Pretty crazy, especially since Dr. Light had intended X to be sealed for 30 years, but it ended up lasting way longer than he initially intended. Yeah, more on that later. Anyways, here is Chill Penguin stage. Okay, I was trying to do a pixel perfect wall jump there. Yeah, it's really difficult. Okay, so far feels like we're playing classic Mega Man. Oh yeah, forgot to bring this up. But yeah, X has the ability to wall jump. So yeah, more on that later. But anyways, what is this capsule? Oh my god! It's our dad, Dr. Light. He's in this game, or kinda in this game, in the sense that he is in a form of a hologram, and I believe this is some sort of an AI recording or something like that. I think that's something that a lot of people have stated. But anyways, he says, "So you've come, X. X, I give you the ability to choose your own path in life. And I hope the world would allow you to choose a peaceful one. But now, it seems that you are destined to fight. Because I thought the world might need a new champion, I have hidden capsules like this one. If you find and use them, you will be able to increase your powers beyond anything the world has ever known. Step into this capsule and receive an acceleration system to boost your speed. Good luck, X." Alrighty, so let's step inside the capsule and let's see what this upgrade is. Yeah! And here it is right here. This new move that Dr. Light just gave us is the dash. So this is pretty much this game's version of Mega Man Slide that had first debuted in Mega Man 3, and which by the way I even referenced this when I did my video on that game a year ago. But yeah, it's literally the exact same, because very similar to the slide. It will make X go twice as fast than walking. So yeah, it's some pretty cool stuff. Anyways, so another thing that has been introduced to the X series is this ride armor. So you know how remember in my Mega Man 4 video, to where there was this one artwork that showed Mega Man riding on this mech thing. You know how this one Mega Man 4 artwork where Mega Man was seen riding some sort of a mech armor? Apparently they scrapped it, and it really seems like that they saved it for this series. So yeah, so X gets to do what his older brother couldn't in his series, which is pretty cool. So yeah, so with it you can walk, you can dash, and you can punch enemy. You can actually punch enemies with it too, as what you saw earlier. As there was another robot on the ride armor. And yeah. Anyways, more on that later. So we just reached the boss of the stage, and now we're about to face off against Chill Penguin. I love the sound effect of that boss door closing. I don't know why. But anyways, here he is right here. Yeah, so his main attacks, the game already told us this, but his main attacks are his shotgun ice and his annoying slide move, in which he's invincible during. Yep, like that. So yeah, so what I'm doing right now, I'm actually dashing while firing a uncharged shot, because for whatever reason, when X dashes, if X fires a pellet while he dashes, the uncharged pellet can actually do 2 damage rather than just 1 damage. So yeah, that has been revealed by speedrunners, I believe. So yeah, so it really helps out a lot. Let me concentrate. Yeah, and he also, Chopingo loves to create statues of himself as well. Anyways, he is down. Let's freaking go. In your face, son. Nice. And whoosh, let's go. Alright, so just like the original Mega Man, X has the ability to acquire the X has the ability to enhance the weapon from a boss that he has defeated and gets to use their own ability. So what we just got right there is the Shotgun Ice, which is actually one of my favorite weapons in this game, because as what we just saw right there, when X is equipped with the weapon, he fires an ice pellet, and when the ice shot hits a wall, it will actually split into smaller pieces. So it's very similar to Freeze Man's Freeze Cracker from Mega Man 7, but even more OP. But anyways, I love this password theme. It's so good, literally so good. Alrighty, so just to give you guys a disclaimer, this is not going to be a casual playthrough, as I will be using a lot of speedrunning techniques and even some glitches as well. So if you guys are looking for normal gameplay, this video is not for that. So very obviously, you know, when playing casually, especially when going for 100%, you would normally take on Storm Eagle next, but nope. We are instead going to be taking on Boomer Kuwanger next, and there is a speedrunning trick that I am going to pull off in this stage. So yes. So yeah, this is something that I've been doing. So this is something that I've also done in the classic Mega Man retrospective, and I've stated this a few times in my live streams, but I am not one who prefers to play casually. So I will be using some speedrunning tricks and potentially some glitches as well. Anyways, here we are on Boomer Kuwanger's stage, and I like how and Boomer Kuwanger's intro right there, where he did the exact same pose that Pharaoh Man did in Mega Man 4. So yeah, don't think I didn't notice, Capcom. Anyways, I love the theme for this level. It's so good. God, I love this theme. Anyways, you can actually ignore those big turtle enemies, by the way, by timing your dash jump over them. Oh yeah, another cool thing about the dash is that X actually keeps his momentum when jumping out of a dash. So yeah, it's also gonna be very useful for crossing some gaps. Anyways, so this right here appears to be an auto scroller, and thankfully the Shotgun Ice actually helps with clearing out those enemies there. And anyways, we get a nice reference to a Legman stage from Mega Man 1, as this entire section is completely vertical with all these ladders. And the only real difference is that X has the ability to wall jump. Yeah, he essentially has the ability to climb on walls by just simply jumping on them. It's like literally disobeying the laws of physics to his literal advantage. It's honestly pretty interesting, but it's honestly really cool. Anyways, I gotta watch out right here. Oh yeah, by the way, those purple enemies who surprisingly resemble Sting Chameleon. They kind of remind me of what is it? Those enemies from Mega Man 3 where they're climbing on the ladders. Yeah, I don't know why, but anyways, so right here is that heart tank. So normally you would need a charged up shotgun ice to reach it, but nope. I am instead gonna pull off another speedrunning trick. So this one requires precise timing. So I'm gonna try to get this off. Oop, okay. Yeah, this one's very precise. Alright, come on, get up there. I've done a lot of practice runs on this game, so I do know how it works. It just takes take some time. Alright, come on. Come on. Come on, it's right there. Come on. Nice, let's go. Let's freaking go. So yeah, that trick is a lot harder than it looks, but it helps with saving time. So yeah, once again, big thanks to these speedrunners for essentially teaching me that trick. Cause like, again, I've done a lot of practice. I've done a lot of practice runs on this game, and that is something that I've done for the classic series as well. So yeah, once again, throughout this retrospective, I will be using a lot of speedrunning tricks like that. Because again, I am not one who prefers to play casually. So yeah, thank God. So we won't have to revisit this stage again for the rest of this playthrough. Anyways, we're about to come up to Boomer Kuwanger, and he's actually very difficult. There is a trick that you can do to where you can manipulate him into doing his command grab, but I'm not gonna attempt it unless. Okay, I was not expecting to get that off in this video, but it worked. Okay, we managed to do enough damage to him, so this guy was nice enough to give me a good pattern there. Okay, gotta be careful. Yeah, after a while he starts teleporting, and then occasionally he will throw his boomerang cutter in X's direction. Okay, let me concentrate. He keeps on teleporting. Nice, okay. Perfect fight, let's freaking go. Didn't even take any damage once. Dang, I can't believe I actually got off that trick. Where, I've seen speedrunners manipulate Boomer into doing his command grab. And that's exactly what I just did right there. Oh my god. This run is actually going well so far. Let's freaking go. Alrighty. Anyways, by defeating him, we get his weapon called the Boomerang Cutter. Which is very similar to the Cutman, which is very similar to the rolling cutter from very similar to the rolling cutter from Mega Man 1, and I think that's the name of that weapon from that game. But yeah, you literally saw right there. It does function similarly. However, unlike Cutman's weapon, unlike Cutman's weapon, the Boomerang Cutter allows X to fire more than one boomerang. So yeah, so it's gonna be very useful, and a lot of speedrunners actually exploit a glitch with that move, which I believe they call the Phantom Grab or something like that. And they actually do it in this next stage, which is Storm Eagle. So yeah, this guy's literally iconic. I'm not sure why he is. Maybe it's design or his theme, but really. And speaking of this theme, I love it. It's so good. I haven't even mentioned this yet, but this game has some of the best soundtracks in any Mega Man game. I think it's probably right up there with oh yeah, by the way, if you jump off that platform and head to the left, you can reach that heart tank. So that is overall the second one in this game. But yeah, this game is definitely right up there with with Mega Man 6. Despite my criticisms on that game, as some of the best in not just in the Mega Man franchise, but in video game history, in my opinion. Oops. Okay, using the wrong weapon. Hold up, I'm trying to do this trick right here. There we go. So yeah, so that's another trick that I've learned from speedrunners, to where if you fire the shotgun ice at if you fire the shotgun ice at a certain distance, and then if you keep I believe if you keep on moving after you shoot it, and when enemies like that spawn in, they start to take damage every frame from the shot. So yeah, it's actually super useful. And did that enemy despawn? Okay, what was that? I'm gonna take it nice and slow. Okay. Okay, and then I'm gonna get rid of this next enemy. Okay, take it nice and slow because there is a bombless pit here. God, this game's soundtrack is so good. A lot of the X series games have a lot of good soundtracks, so I will be discussing more on that later. Anyways, the next Dr. Light capsule is hidden down here, so we do need to use those weapons to smash it, and here he is again. This capsule contains an enhancement for your helmet, which will allow you to break some ceilings with a headbutt. Alrighty. It doesn't really sound that impressive, but whatever. Whatever, I guess. Anyways. Yeah! Yep, literally as he described. We can literally smash blocks with our head. I mean, not really that impressive. But it will be useful for, oh my god, get off me. It will be useful for reaching the next upgrade in the next stage that we're gonna be doing. Anyways, grab that extra life. Oh yeah, I forgot the boomerang cutter. Is that the name? Okay, yeah, that is the name. Okay, I might have missed it during that weapon get screen after beating Boomer Kuwanger. But yeah, I forgot. So, or actually, I didn't really forget. But even though I did a lot of practice runs of this game. But the boomerang cutter can actually grab items and bring them back to X. I think it's very similar to Hornet Man's Hornet Chaser from Mega Man 9, which can also grab a life up, health pickups, and weapon pickups, and they bring them back to Mega Man as well. So yeah, it's pretty much the same goes for X's boomerang cutter. Anyways, here is Storm Eagle. So yeah, unfortunately we do not have his weakness right now. He's actually weak to Sting Chameleon, but we have not fought against him yet. But thankfully he's already pretty easy enough. He's already really easy enough without his weakness. And so far he has not attempted to do his dive move. Wait, he might do it here, I think. Nope, he didn't even attempt to do his dive move. Okay. This run is already starting to go good. What the heck? I'm getting some good RNG. But yeah, there is a move that Storm Eagle does, where he flies up to the top of the screen and starts diving down towards X. And it's completely random on when he does it. And when it happens, especially if you're speedrunning, you lose a lot of time. But anyways, by defeating him, we have access to his weapon called the Storm Tornado, which is one of the most powerful weapons, not just in this game or in the X series, but in the entire Mega Man franchise. As this move can pierce through enemies so easily. Like, you know how I said in Mega Man 1, how Electman's Thunder Beam can literally destroy most enemies like they're nothing. This game's Storm Tornado is exactly that. So we will be seeing it put to good use in this next stage, which is Flame Mammoth. Let's do this. Oh my god, I just realized I forgot to read the specs for Boomer Kuwanger and Storm Eagle, so I will be doing that before we take on the next Maverick. Anyways, here is Flame Mammoth stage, here is Flame Mammoth stage with another goated ass soundtrack. It's so badass. I love this game's soundtrack. It's so good. Alright, so the next light capsule is right up there, but this one requires a very precise wall kick. So can we get this off? Okay, I'm gonna have to mash. Okay, we got it first try. Not bad. So here's the capsule right here. This capsule contains a part which will increase the capabilities of your X-Buster. You can use it to fire all types of weapons. Oh yeah, okay. I don't know if I don't think I made this mistake, but I keep forgetting that X's version of the Buster is called the X-Buster, as the one that Mega Man had was the Mega Buster. But anyways, so he literally just showed us right there. X can actually charge his Buster up to 1, 2, yep, I was about to say Mega Man. X can actually charge his Buster up to 3 levels and he can fire an even more powerful charge shot. And not only that, but it also allows him to charge up weapons. So yeah, so it's pretty much a lot like the Power Gear in Mega Man 11, where Mega Man was able to fire powerful versions of the weapons that he acquired, as well as the double charge shots. Yeah, pretty sick. Anyways, so with the use of the Boomerang Cutter, we were able to grab that energy tank, or not energy tank, but this game actually refers to the energy tanks as the sub tanks. Though despite that, they still have the E letter on them. I'm not sure what that is though. But either way, so yeah, these sub tanks are pretty much the E tanks of this game. And unlike the classic series, you get to keep these sub tanks forever. Like once you acquire it, you get to keep it forever. So yeah. Anyways, more on that later. So we just reached Flame Mammoth, and there's actually a pretty cool thing that you can do in this fight, and there's even a trophy behind this too. But you can actually use Boomer Kuwanga's weapon to cut off Flame Mammoth's trunk. So I'm gonna be pulling that off here. Okay, wall kick to avoid. Nice, look at that. So yes, that is a thing that you can do. You can actually cut off Flame Mammoth's trunk, and like I said, this is a trophy that you can acquire. So yeah. So yeah, good on Capcom for making that a trophy. So anyways, we gotta watch it right here. Oh my god! Now of course he has that stupid move that Gutsman did in Mega Man 1, where in that one he was able to stun Mega Man if Mega Man was on the ground, and the same thing happens here, where if X is on the ground, when Flame Mammoth stomps on the ground, he will be stunned. So so it's always best to watch out for that. Anyways, he has been defeated. I love this theme, by the way, during the weapon get screen. So anyways, by defeating Flame Mammoth, we get the Fire Wave, which is very similar to Burner Man's weapon from Mega Man and Base, to where if you hold the shot button, X will hold out his X Buster forward and will fire a flamethrower in front of them, and it's also very powerful as it can melt down the enemy's health like nothing. Pretty crazy. But anyways, I forgot to read the specs for Boomer Kuwanger here, as well as Flame Mammoth. Yes, so Boomer Kuwanger's height is 7.93 foot. His weight is 206 IB. His attacks are Boomerang Cutter and Deadlift, which is his command grab, by the way. For Storm Eagle, his height is 8.20, weight 275. Hey, that's part of my channel name. His attacks are Storm Tornado and Diving. And for Flame Mammoth, his height is 10.5, weight 719 IB. His attacks are Fire Wave, Oiling, and Jump Press. Which by the way, if you remove his trunk, he will not be able to do his Oiling move, as well as change the directions of the conveyor belt that X literally fought him on with. But yeah. Anyway, so this next Maverick that we're gonna be taking on is Sting Chameleon. So his height is 5.80 foot. His weight is 169 IB. His attacks are Chameleon Sting and Iron Tongue. So yeah, normally people save Sting Chameleon for last when playing casually, but I'm actually going to be doing him 5th because there is another trick that I am going to perform in this stage, and it also helps save a lot of time. So yeah, I will be doing that in this video. Right, so here we are on his stage. Kind of reminds me a whole lot of Whipman stage from Mega Man 2. Not sure why. Anyways, so we're gonna climb up here, and oh god, what's happening? Oh god, what? Who the heck is this guy? Is this Is this supposed to be Otto's long lost little brother or something? Because he's also green. He also has the red gems on his body, or whatever those are called. Interesting. But this guy's actually weak to Boomer Kuwanger's weapon. Okay, so I am gonna try to save it. As there we go. He's been destroyed. As Sting Chameleon is actually weak to Boomer Kuwanger. Anyways, defeating that discount Otto reveals another light capsule. This capsule contains a new type of body armor. It will reduce damage to your systems by 50%. Oh, okay. Alrighty. Let's go on and acquire this baby. I love this game's sound effects. They're so good. Yeah. Alrighty, and that means X's body parts have been completed. That's good. Alright, so before we move on here, I'm going to do another trick. So smash these blocks with our foot. Alright, and use oh god, that was close. Alright, use charged up shotgun ice, and can we get this off? Ah, dang, I missed it. Yeah, I knew that was gonna. I honestly knew I wouldn't be able to get that off. Alright, that's fine. Alrighty, I will. So, yeah, but it should be noted that when you defeat that mini boss, it actually. Oh wow, okay. I was about to say what hit me, but it was those Mets right there. But yeah, when you kill that mini boss, it actually prevents the falling rocks in the next section from falling. So yeah, so I'm gonna make a cut and then I will attempt to streak again. Okay, let's try this again. This requires a lot of concentration. There we go. Second try is to charm. So yeah, so that trick right there, I've learned from a speedrunner named Ali. I think that's his name. So yeah, so that's exactly how I learned that trick. So yep, no more having to beat Launch Octopus first, just to reach that heart tank. Thank God. Yeah, maybe we gotta watch out for these enemies right here, which thankfully we can't ignore completely. So yeah, so they're just more so obstacles than anything else. So yeah, there's actually another cool thing about this game, by the way. So depending on which boss you defeat, excuse me, depending on which Maverick you beat, the stage actually changes. So you know how there is that they're like these icy, you know how there was this icy floor in Flame Mammoth stage. That is because we beat Chill Penguin. And another example is that what we just did right there. Normally, what we just did right there to reach that heart tank. Normally, if you beat Launch Octopus, if you beat Launch Octopus before entering the stage, that entire area will be flooded with water. But I have not fought against Launch Octopus yet, and I still used the trick with the charged shotgun ice to reach that heart tank. So yeah. So yeah, one of the more cooler mechanics of this game. Anyways, here is Sting Chameleon right here, and he is weak to Boomer Kuwanger. It's over. Yep. So yeah, unfortunately, this game has the same problem that Mega Man 7 has, where if you defeat a boss, if you hit a boss with the weakness, they will stagger. And also, like in Mega Man 7, they also have the tendency of repeating their attack patterns, which you can literally use as an exploit. So yeah. However, unlike Mega Man 7, though, I do think some of this game's bosses are difficult to fight Buster only. So yeah, so that's why. So for that reason, I don't really mind using I don't really mind fighting them with the weaknesses anyway. So yeah, it's fine. Anyways, by defeating Sting Chameleon, we get his weapon, literally called Chameleon Sting. It's literally just in reverse. Like, the guy's name is Sting. Like, the guy is named Sting Chameleon, but for some reason his weapon just has the two words swapped. Like Chameleon Sting, Sting Chameleon. Like, what's the like? Were they not able to come with a better name for this weapon? Like, doesn't make any sense. But anyways, so we will be seeing it put to good use in this next stage, which is Spark Mandrill. Let's take a look at his specs. His height is 10.0 foot. His weight is 646 IB. His attacks are Electric Spark and Dash Punch. Let's do this. And this is another stage with a very goated theme. And what exactly is a Mandrill? I'm assuming that's like I assume that's some sort of a monkey slash gorilla type. I have to look that up after this video. Anyways, here we go. Here's his stage. And this stage has fallen victim to an effect because you're noticing that you're noticing right now there is a blackout that's gonna be happening a lot around here. It's because we defeated. Okay, I didn't even double tap on the D-pad. What the heck was that? But this is because we defeated Storm Eagle. Because when we defeated him, his ship ends up crash landing in this area. So yeah, that's why there are multiple blackouts around here. Anyway, let me concentrate right here. Ooh, nice. So yeah, first uses of Sting Chameleon's weapon, to where it normally fires. Oops. Oh my god, I didn't mean to hit the touchpad. How it works is that X will fire three lasers in different directions, and we're using the charged up version. Ooh, nice. We managed to kill this dude very easily. When using the charged up version, ooh, extra life for the win. When using the charged up version of the move, it actually makes him completely invincible to pretty much every attack. So we can literally just get past anything without taking damage. Okay, so I'm gonna use it right here. Oops. Okay, I'm messing up. Okay. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, I like how he glows in different colors. But yeah. So yeah, I think this effect lasts for a. Oh my god, how did you hit me from that? What the heck, dude? I think this effect lasts for a total of maybe 10 plus seconds, I think. But yeah. Anyways, grab that heart tank right there. Ah, dang! I was hoping I could avoid that without getting hit. Okay. Yeah, destroy these big turtle guys. Okay. And then the rest of this, we are going to use Sting Chameleon to make ourselves invincible, so that we can pretty much ignore anything in our path. Like, look at this. You would not see this in a casual run, by the way. So yeah, that's why I've always been saying in my classic Mega Man videos. If you want to learn about these tricks, watch the speedruns. Anyways, here comes Sparky right here, and he is weak to Chill Penguin. Anyways, whoosh. Oop. Whoosh. Whoosh. Up. Whoosh. Nope. Whoosh. Ah, dang, you got me. Whoosh. Alright, get out of here. Nice. So yeah. Spark Mandrill can be a pretty difficult boss, as sometimes when he does his dash punch move, and if X is clinging onto a wall when that happens, he will actually get knocked off. So that is something that you do got to keep in mind. He also has another annoying move that he does, where he would jump to the ceiling. He would jump to the ceiling and climb across it until he reaches X's location. But other than that, he's not so bad. But anyways, by defeating him, we get his weapon called the Electric Spark, in which I feel like what's his name from Mega Man 11? Fuse, in which I believe Fuse Man's weapon might be inspired by it, which is pretty interesting. As when the electric spark shots hit a wall, they will actually split into two. So yeah, it helps out a lot. Love this password theme. Anyways, so next up is Armored Armadillo, and he is weak to Spark Mandrill. We're gonna take a look at his specs. His height is 6.36. His weight is 510 IB. His attacks are Rolling Shield and Guarding. What is this? What is this, Street Fighter? Anyways, let's do this thing. I really love the design of the Mavericks in this game. I don't know why. Well, we're gonna be seeing a lot more cooler ones The further we get into the series. Anyways, here's a stage right here. Ah, dang. Well, that was I think that was a mistimed jump, but it's fine. But anyways, so here's a stage in which seems a lot, feels like an advanced version of Gutsman stage from Mega Man 1. Yeah, it's literally Gutsman stage. Now to think about it. Anyways, we got that get that sub tank right there, and yeah, okay, then that's the last one. We already got the third one in Spark Mandrill, in which you do need to use Boomerang Ringer to be able to grab. Yeah. Anyways, go invincible, literally ignore all these enemies. Yeah, I really love this. I really love this move. It's so useful. I believe it's one of the only weapons. I believe it's one of the only weapons that acts as a defensive tool rather than offensive. It's unlike any of the shield weapons that we got in the classic series so far, where Mega Man did not have a move like that. So it's very useful. Okay, take out those annoying bats, which unfortunately have returned, or at least they're like mechanical versions of the ones that we saw in some classic games. Anyways, gotta be careful. Okay, grab this health, because that is required for the final upgrade that we will be getting in this game. Anyways, here comes Armored Armadillo. I love that sound effect of that door closing. It's so good. Goodness. Anyways, here he is right here. Weak to Spark Mandrill, and sometimes he starts in he always starts out the fight by bouncing across the screen after he curls into a ball. Bro thinks he's Sonic the Hedgehog. Anyways, okay, watch out. Okay, unfortunately hit me there, but that's fine. All right, nice. I love how X is not even looking at him while he explodes. Dang. Bro is literally disrespecting Armored Armadillo there. Yeah! Alrighty, and by defeating him, we get the Rolling Shield. Yeah, this is very similar to Mega Man 6's weapon get animation. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I forgot to bring this up for some reason, but this game came out a month after Mega Man 6, and I think I even said it in my video on that game. But yeah, it really seems like this game and Mega Man 6 were developed at the same time. If they actually released one part from each other, which is pretty interesting. And I'm going by the Japanese release dates, not the US ones. So just to be perfectly clear. Anyways, alrighty, final Maverick that we're gonna be taking on is Launch Octopus, and we're gonna take a look at his specs. His height is 7.80 foot. His weight 348 IB, and his attacks are Homing Torpedo and the Energy Drain. Wow, so of course he has that. Of course, he's got that same move that Shade Man had in Mega Man 7. That's wonderful. I always love hearing the X version of the Robot Master theme. Now here we go. And this stage is literally Dive Man stage from Mega Man 4, as most of it is underwater, and you even fight the boss underwater too. So yeah, once again, Capcom, don't think I did not notice. Anyways, so we're gonna activate the charged up version of the Rolling Shield, and yep, it's pretty much the same as it's pretty much the same as the shield weapons from the classic series, to where you get to where the shield will pretty much protect X from any attack, where the shield will protect X against attacks from smaller enemies. But if the shield hits a bigger enemy, it will disappear. Anyways, we're gonna use Charge Up Sting Chameleon to take care of the second mini boss, as I just killed the first one with Spark Mandrill, and nice. Dang, like, you see how easy I'm making these bosses look. Like, granted, they can't be difficult if it's your first time playing, but really, But if you're like used to everything, like you know how to get if you're used to the level design and everything like I am, you can pretty much take it down as easy. Anyways, take down this big ship so that it reveals a new pathway, which also leads to another mini boss, which we're going to destroy in a few seconds with the charged up Storm Tornado. Get out of here. Oh my god, the game is lagging like hell. Anyways, grab this heart tank. Nice. I really love using Boomer Kuwanger to grab faraway items like that. It's so cool. Anyways, one more mini boss is going to show up here. Oop, hold up. There we go. Anyways, one more mini boss is going to show up here, but we're just going to do this. Nice. Just kill that MF before he comes on screen. That's so hilarious. Anyways, coming up to launch Octopus, which, just like Dive Man from Mega Man 4, we also fight underwater. And funny thing, I love that boss door sound effect when it closes. And funny thing, just like Dive Man, Launch Octopus will also start his attack pattern every time. So no RNG. So literally no RNG involved right there. Anyways, but yeah, he is weak to Armored Armadillo. You gotta be careful because he loves to fire his missiles and fish-shaped missiles as well. Okay, careful. All right, other way, dude. What the heck? Like, turn around, man. What are you shooting at? I'm right behind you. Goodness. Anyways, he has been defeated. Yeah, pretty easy boss. That is if you're not doing an any percent run. But yeah. Yeah. Let's go. I love the way he holds his fist up during his victory animation. But by defeating Launch Octopus, we get his weapon, the homing torpedo, which as what we just saw right there, it's literally the dive missile from Mega Man 4. So I'm guessing Launch Octopus is literally a Maverick version of Dive Man. Like the only difference is their design as well as their fight, but literally, like both himself and his stage are just literally Dive Man. Anyways, new cutscene here, where X has met up with Zero once again. Finally, we found Sigma's fortress. Let's go in and put an end to his war against the humans. Even though we have yet to see any humans in this game, what gives? We have not seen, and like I said, Dr. Cain does not make an appearance whatsoever in this game. Like he's mentioned, like we do see him opening up the capsule that Dr. Light had left behind to reawaken X, but that's just pretty much it. But anyways, here is the main villain of the game that Zero mentioned at the beginning, and this man's name is Sigma. This guy is gonna be our new main antagonist for pretty much the rest of the series. So he's pretty much the new Dr. Wily. Crazy. But anyways, before we move on to this game's castle stages, we are going to revisit at least 2 stages. So first things first, we're gonna be revisiting Choke Penguin stage, and also I forgot to show this, but I like how there's also an option to show the map of the stage locations where the Mavericks had, well, at this point, formerly resided in. But yeah. But anyways, we're gonna be revisiting his stage so that we can get the last heart tank in this game. Anyways, we're revisiting the stage with all of our weapons acquired, so that means we can use charged up Sting Chameleon to bypass all of these enemies and ignore them. God, I love this ability so much. It's so useful. And this does make sense, as this is an ability that chameleons can do. And this is something that Espio did during one of his idle animations in Knuckles Chaotix, which is pretty interesting. So yeah. Anyways, go invincible once again. Ignore all of these enemies because they are not worth X's time. Anyways, riot armor right here. Oop. So that way we can reach this. Nicely done. Alright, and that is the last one. But it's really weird. It's really weird how, unlike in the classic series where Mega Man starts off with full health, X only starts off with only a small quarter of his health, which is kind of weird considering that he's literally Dr. Light's last creation. I'm not sure why he needs all these upgrades to be at full health, but it's whatever, I guess. Because Mega Man didn't even need any of that, so I really just don't get it. Alright. Anyway, destroy all these mechanical bats. Anyways, so yeah, going to the we're visiting Armored Armadillo to grab the final upgrade, which is the Hadouken. So yeah, it's not required to beat the game, but we will be needing it for the castle stages. So you will see why later. I love how you can hear that thing that we just passed earlier. When getting the sub tank, you can still hear it from off screen and when it explodes, which I just find to be super hilarious. Goodness. Yep, and here's this second one. So yeah, the same thing is gonna happen again. Like, just wait for it. Get rid of these bats. All right, use charged up Armored Armadillo so that we can use charge Rolling Shield. Yeah, look at that. You hear that? You can still hear that machine. You can still hear that machine exploding off screen. Oh jeez. Like normally if you're far away from from where the object is, you normally wouldn't hear it, but I guess that's not the case for that one. So anyways, so what you just saw right there, I chose to take an intentional death, and the reason being is that no, my god, my dash didn't come out. Dang it. My dash didn't come out. Oh my god, okay. That death right there was not intended because yeah, so that right there is one of the main problems with the Legacy Collection, where it has the input delay. So that's how that happened. Okay, because I'm supposed to be taking intentional deaths in this section, not on that spike, so yeah. Thank God I'm not speedrunning though, because that would have been a very significant time loss there. Anyways, so yeah, I unfortunately wasted a life there inadvertently, which sucks. So yeah, so you don't actually have to do this though. I mean, you can't complete the stage. Or not complete the stage, but you can go to the very end of the stage, and then you can just re-enter. Oh god, I forgot the charge. Okay, I think I might take damage here. I fear. Shoot. Okay, I'm safe. I thought I was gonna get hit here. I thought I was gonna get hit here. Damn, that death was embarrassing. I cannot believe that happened. Okay, so I think I have... Oh my god, I already lost count, but I think I have 2 more lives after this. Because again, that death was... that was not supposed to happen right there, because the game failed to register my inputs for dash jumping. Yeah, it's really hard to get some of these off. It's really hard to get some of these off while doing commentary. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So use charged up Stink Chameleon to avoid taking damage here for the most part. Okay, move. Okay, good. Anyways, so by doing all of that, we'll finally get this last Dr. Light capsule to spawn. And anyways, we see him wearing a Street Fighter tier, which I believe is Ryu's outfit. I think that's what it is. I don't know. I might need to replay the Marvel vs. Capcom collection that I have on PlayStation 4. But anyways, he says, "I give you a special present. Now enter the capsule, please." Sure thing, Dad. Alrighty, let's see what this is. I'm assuming we're gonna get a Street Fighter move, going by the outfit that he was wearing there. Let's see. Nice. Hadouken, let's go. So yep, we have access to one of the most iconic moves from the Street Fighter series, and it's the Hadouken. So unfortunately, Dr. Lights did not tell us exactly how to perform the move, but how you're supposed to do it is you need to push quarter circle forward and then the shoot button. So yeah, so it depends. So yeah, it's literally the same input as it is in those games. You know, whether you're facing left or right. So yeah, so just do quarter circle forward and then just fire the shot button. So yeah, there's only one drawback to this move. There's only one drawback to this move, as doing the move requires X to be at full health. If he is not at full health, he will not be able to do the Hadouken, and that's gonna be important for these castle stages, as this move does 32 damage, and all the bosses in this game have 32 health, meaning that it can one-hit kill the bosses. So we will be seeing that in this video. Alright, here we go. So on to Sigma Stage 1, where we get to meet up with Zero once again, and he says, "Let's split up. I'll go in first, then you can slip in while I keep the main defense force busy." And for whatever reason, for whatever reason that he decides to go off on his own, and somehow failing to destroy all these enemies here. What gives? I know that's primarily for gameplay purposes, but still, it doesn't make any sense. Anyways, we're gonna use charged up Rolling Thunder to activate our shield. Yeah, for enemies like that. And then I'm gonna do this trick. Oh my god, come on. Nice. So yeah, that's a trick that I've known about for a while. So yeah, so definitely helps out a lot than just using those platforms. Anyways, taking intentional damage as Violet is going to show up again here. So that's why I do want to do that. So that's why I do want to do that to save some time. I'm also gonna do a glitch. I'm gonna perform another trick here. Okay. Nice, let's go. So yep. So if X actually lands on the ground there, it will actually cause... Ooh, somebody's fighting there. Yep, it's gotta be Zero. If X lands on the ground there, it will actually cause Zero and Vile to show up and confront each other. But unfortunately, you guys are not going to be seeing that in this video, so that is it. So initially, when I did my playthrough of this game 6 years ago, I was not aware of that trick until I watched a lot of speedrun videos. Like there was this one video from GDQ where 4 players who were going for 100% on this game had actually performed that trick, and I was like, wait, what? I didn't know you could do that. So yeah. But anyways, more on that later. But anyways, here is Vile once again in his mech, and he has trapped Zero this time. Oh my gosh. Anyways, let's read the dialogue. X, do what I tell you or he's history. Don't listen to him, X. Go ahead and blast him. Dream on, Zero. X knows he can't defeat me. My armored carrier is more than a match for his ancient weapons. Alright, come on. Can we take him down? Nope. Okay. Dang, even with all our armor upgrades, what gives? Oh wow, he broke free. Nice, Zero. Maybe. But I'm not through yet. What's he gonna do? Whoa. What was that? He just performed a super explosive wave on him. And that managed to get rid of Vile's ride armor. That's pretty sick. Alright. Shout out to Zero right there. What a worthless jester. I can't be defeated so easily. So X, it's just you and me now. Yeah! By the way, Deus Ex Machina moment right there. What the? Where did that energy come from? It really doesn't matter how much energy you absorb, X. You are still far too weak. Prepare to be terminated. We'll see about that. Okay, I'm gonna pause buffer to see what he's going to do. What's he gonna do? He's gonna jump. Yep, he's gonna jump. Let's go! I can't believe I got that off. Get destroyed. Get freaking destroyed, Vile. That was satisfying. I can't believe I got that off. Yeah, anyways. Whoa, oh my god. What the heck happened to his legs? Dang. Did they actually get destroyed when he did that explosive wave? God dang. Anyways. X, I've taken too much damage. Auto repair systems can't handle it. My power is fading fast. Your power is greater than I thought. Maybe you can destroy Sigma. No, dude, don't die. Come on, we literally just met you. This is literally the first game. And we already have someone dying like that. That's so stupid. But yeah, that is the end of Zero, or so it seems to be. So it seems to be the end of him. Like, god dang, dude. That's honestly pretty sad. That's honestly pretty sad, because like he kind of did the same thing that Chaozu did. He kind of did the same thing that Chaozu did to sacrifice himself in an attempt to kill Nappa, but Nappa survived it anyway. The only difference is that Zero managed to succeed in destroying Viles' right armor. But yeah. Well, may you rest in peace, Zero. Here's hoping he comes back one day. Anyways, coming up to Boomerang Wenger. By the way, this game does have a boss rush, by the way, which has been a mainstay since Mega Man 2. Can we get this off? Get out of here. So yeah, so this game does exactly what Mega Man 1 did. To where we see all the previous bosses reappear for no real reason other than to extend gameplay time. And yeah, that's exactly what happened right there. And he's actually the only Boomerang is the only returning boss in this stage, by the way. But we will be seeing 7 others in the next 2 stages. Anyways, we're about to enter probably the worst boss in this game in terms of RNG. And that is the Bow Spider. Alright, what's gonna happen here? Yeah, this guy's attack pattern is just completely random. Oh, that would have been it. That would have been it right there. Ah, come on. Please. Okay, he's gonna launch his babies. No? Okay. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. That would have been it right there if I didn't fire too early. No? Okay, where is he gonna go? Nope, okay. Right through me. Yeah, this guy is the most RNG obsessed boss in this entire game. Am I gonna get this? Let's see. So you do have to be at full health to get off this move. Let's go. We got it. Okay. Only took one try. Only took one sub tank, thank god. Cause this MF kills my practice runs because of its annoying ass RNG. But thank god that did not happen in this video, so we are good. We are freaking good. Yeah, so basically the way he moves through those poles there is completely at random. Like you cannot predict where he's going to land at. So yeah, so more on that later. Anyways, on to Sigma Stage 2, which also has one of the best themes in this entire game. God, it's so good. I love this game's soundtrack so much. And considering that this is an NES game, it would make sense as to why it's as great as it is, because I already praised Mega Man 7's soundtrack, like the Second Coming of Jesus, but man oh man. And I'm well aware that this game came out 2 years before Mega Man 7, but still. Anyways, here is Chill Penguin. Gonna try to get him with the Hadouken. Get out of here. I love this move so much. Again, the only downside is that X has to be at full health in order to get it off, but still. It'll never not be satisfying one-shotting enemies like that. Goodness gracious. Like I always remember, you know, when I went for the Hadouken for the first time, when I first played this game back in 2018, and then using that move to one-shot bosses. Oh my god. It'll never not be so fun to pull off. Anyways. Alright, final time we get to use the right armor in this game. Okay, get out of here. Dude. Okay, there you go. I look, you kind of wish you can, I kind of wish you can, you can combo when doing the punch move. I think I even said this during my original playthrough back. I think I said this back in my original playthrough from 2020. But yeah, I kind of wish you can do like some sort of combat boost with it, but it's whatever. Anyways, here's Storm Eagle once again. Can we Hadouken him? Let's see. Ah, damn. Oh, come on. Okay, I think he's gonna dive. Yep, there it is. So yep, unfortunately fortunately we did not go through this run without him doing this stupid attack. Say, he does this like a total of like 6 times, I think. Or 7. Like, come on, dude. Alright, get down here. Really again? Oh my god. Okay. Where's RNG? Not surprised. Come on, Storm Eagle, you're being a jerk. Let me hit you with the Hadouken, please. Come on, get down here, please. Okay, he's gonna do that. Ah, come on. No. There we go. Oh my god. Yeah, I really hate how the Hadouken is literally on the same button as the shot button. So there are times where X will fire a pellet shot instead of immediately firing the Hadouken. It's really annoying. But yeah, Storm Eagle just did a move right there, which is a clear reference to those enemies from Mega Man 2, such as an Airman stage. So yeah, they decided to put that as one of his attacks in this game, which I find to be pretty clever. Anyways, next boss in the Sigma stage, and this thing's name is the Regna Bangna. Yeah, I think that's what they call him. Ah, nice Hadouken that blue eye. So yeah, I was hoping I would get that off, and I'm glad I did. Let's freaking go. Anyways, so pretty much this boss consists of 3 eyes. The green eye will shoot 1 pellet. The blue eye will move. The blue eye will try to collide into you, and the red eye will fire 3 sets of bullets. So anyways, I'm gonna use Charge Up Sting Chameleon so that we can have temporary invincibility, and Ranga Banga is dead. Oh my god. Thankfully the Legacy Collection, just like the classic Legacy Collections, does have a museum in which these are named. Really? No, I don't think this is named. Okay, I just not realized. Yeah, more than that later. But anyways, that was the end of Sigma Stage 2. So now on to Sigma Stage 3. Oh yeah, by the way, there is actually a trick. There's actually a trick that you can pull off here, by not going all the way to the top of the screen, and then you fire the charge. Oh god, I almost got hit there. And then you fire the charged shotgun ice. So I believe you do it like this. You fire right here, and yeah, I don't know how to get out that trick, but if done successfully, you can actually prevent Armored Armadillo from spawning. So yeah, so that helps save a lot of time. Anyways, get out of here. Nice. God, I love the Hadouken. Not once have I missed a single Hadouken shot on the returning bosses. And once again, I really love how, like this game, Mega Man 1 and Mega Man Base are literally the only games in the entire Mega Man series where the boss rushes do not take place in one room. And this is something that I wish more games did. Like, not even the Zero and ZX series do this kind of thing. Like, especially Zero 1, in which I did stream on my Twitch channel a few months ago. Anyways, Return to Sting Chameleon. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Nice. He is down yet again. There is a way that you can Hadouken Sting Chameleon, as there is this trick that speedrunners do, where they wall jump, then fire the charged shotgun ice, and then they pause buffer, and then they quickly input, and then they quickly do the inputs for the Hadouken to be able to one-shot Sting Chameleon. I unfortunately have never been able to pull it off, as it requires very precise timing and positioning. So for that reason, I'm not gonna attempt it in this video, as well as the other one used to skip Armor Armadillo. Anyways, we're gonna use Boomer Kuwanger to grab these. There we go. Alright, coming up next is Spark Mandrill, so I am gonna stun him first with Chill Penguin and then get off the Hadouken. But yeah, he always starts off his attacks at random, so let's see what happens here. Nice. They just straight up dash into it like an idiot. Goodness gracious. Like, what were you trying to accomplish with that, Sparky? Goodness. And I just now realized, he has almost the same name as Sparkman from Mega Man 3. Or at the very least, also has Spark in his name. Pretty funny, honestly. Get rid of these annoying Mr. Puff enemies from SpongeBob. Yeah, that guy will always respawn, by the way. And thankfully, we're gonna get up an easy Hadouken against Launch Octopus here. As, again, like Dive Man from Mega Man 4, he always starts off with the same pattern every time. Get out of here. Yeah, he always starts off by jumping and firing missiles, so yeah. You left yourself wide open there, Launch Octopus. Also, I love how, before the fight starts, he does a gesture. He actually does a gesture to where he tells X that he's going down. So yeah, I always find that to be pretty cool. Anyway, so use Charge Up Sting Chameleon there to dash along those spikes with our temporary invincibility, and now we're about to take on the last Maverick refight, and that is Flame Mammoth. Get out of here. So yeah, we managed to one-shot all 8 bosses with the Hadouken without missing once. Let's freaking go. Alright, so there is one more boss. There is one more boss in this level, and that is the D-Rex. Can we get a good pattern out of this dude? Let's see what happens. No, okay, we don't get the pattern. Alright. Yeah, so what I was trying to do there, if X moves right and then back to the left, there is a chance that D-Rex will actually move its head diagonally down. Unfortunately, that does not always happen, as like the Bow Spider, this boss is affected by RNG. Sometimes he will, sometimes it will move its head down. Other times he doesn't. So yeah, unfortunately it's RNG. So yeah, so that's the only way I can properly manipulate it. I've been able to get it off cleanly in my practice runs where he decided to give me the right pattern, but unfortunately he decided not to in this video. But it's fine though. He's weak to Boomer Kuwanger. So it's fine. Yeah. But I will be posting a short of it on. I will be posting a short of it to show how that's done. Alrighty. Anyways, unfortunately, that's gonna be the final time we'll be hearing the password theme for this game. So on to Sigma Stage 4, in which it looks like we're gonna be facing off against the evil mastermind himself, who once again is literally the Dr. Wily of the X series. So yeah, we will be seeing why as soon as we encounter him. Anyways, do this long wall jumping section to reach this room, and here he is. Oh wow, and he's got his Mechanoid pet, which kind of reminds me of Bass's companion Trouble from the classic series. Interesting. Anyways, he says, "Welcome. I see you managed to get here by yourself. Very impressive. I could destroy you, but I would not rob my pet of that pleasure. He knows how to deal with betrayers. Should you live, I will be waiting for you. Don't disappoint me, X." Alright, I guess we're gonna be fighting his dog. Alright, sure thing, dude. Hey, can we get this off? There we go. Let's freaking go. Doesn't matter where you jump, you're always gonna get hit by that. Haha. And he's back. Excellent job, X. I see why Zero counted on you. You're almost as good a hunter as I was. But the time of your destruction has arrived. You shall regret ever having defied me. Oh, what? He got a lightsaber now? Alright then. Bro thinks he's a Jedi or something. Anyways, manipulate him so that I can do this. Hadouken! Nice. Yeah, not as strong, not as good, not as powerful as you think, huh, Siggy boy? Of course, though, he has another face, and did he just lose his body? And whoa, okay, interesting. Oh god. Here we go. So, anyways, final boss, as he is weak to Armored Armadillo. Okay, let me concentrate. Whoosh. Oh god. Whoosh. 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 Oh my god. He keeps throwing his hand at me though. That's gonna be the tough part. Whoosh. 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 Nice. It's over. We did it. Didn't even need to use any sub-tanks. Just like in the original playthrough from 6 years ago. Let's freaking go! Anyways.
No! It's not possible! I'm a Reploid! I can't be destroyed by you! Why, X? Why have you done this to us? Without the humans, my Reploid brothers could have ushered a new age!
What do you mean my Reploid brothers? And what do you mean us? Like, you brought this upon yourself, Sigma. Like, come on, dude. And wow, literally the same thing. Like we saw in the classic games, where when Mega Man defeats Wily, the entire castle explodes. And the same thing happens here. Goodness gracious. Jeez, like, both the classic and X series are very similar in terms of in terms of the boss selection, the story, the main villains, like the main antagonists, all that stuff. Anyways, the war has ended. The war has ended for now, and peace has been restored. But those who sacrifice themselves for the victory will never return. Exhausted, X gazes at the destruction he helped cause and wonders. Exhausted, X gazes at the destruction he helped cause and wonders why he chose to fight. Was there another way? I don't know why this text is moving so slow. Standing on the cliff, the answers seem to escape him. He only knows that he'll fight the Mavericks again before he finds his answer. How long will he keep on fighting? How long will his pain last? Only the X-Buster on his hand knows for sure. And this is something that I alluded to in my Mega Man 2 video from a year ago, where at the end of that game, after Mega Man defeats the Wily alien, which was actually revealed to be a hologram, there was this cutscene where, you know, he's walking with a depressed look, and that was what made me wonder if that's the reason. That's what made me wonder if that's something that Dr. Light had programmed into X, or at the very least, he even states in that note at the beginning of the game, you know, with saying that X is the first of the new generations of robots to think, feel, and make their own decisions. Despite the fact that Mega Man was already capable of doing that, and in the later games of the classic series, especially Mega Man 7, which, by the way, that note, another part of that note to where, okay, we'll probably reread it we'll probably read it again in the museum, but I find that part to be very ironic. Where like it says that robots cannot kill. Okay, we'll have to reread it, but in Mega Man 7, where Mega Man was tired of Dr. Wily's shit, and even threatens to kill him, at least going by the English translation, which, again, Capcom is never good with translating for these games, at least for Mega Man games anyway. But even without the English translation and the way he pointed his Mega Buster at Wily, it kind of seemed like he was about to kill him, even though he does hesitate, and eventually Wily gets rescued by Bass in Trouble. So I'm pretty sure Mega Man already had the ability to make his own decisions, especially in other games like in Mega Man 5 on Game Boy, where he wanted to help out Sunstar after their fight, and in Mega Man 8 where he works with Duo, and especially in Mega Man 11 where he was sick and tired of Dr. Wily just doing the same "please forgive me" pose, or at least he says, or at least he goes, "I'm a helpless old man" or whatever. But yeah, it's really weird. Anyways, that was our first credits right there, and the game says, "And you as Mega Man X." Very nice. But yeah, but as for X though, I mean, so far though, he kind of seems the same as his original counterpart, or in other words, his older brother. And the terms of, oh my god, AI. It says AI right there. Dang, this game predicted AI 3 decades. This game predicted AI literally 30 years before it became a thing, unfortunately, in today's day and age. But as I was saying, X so far, at least in this game, is pretty much the same as classic Mega. It's pretty much the same as Mega Man is, pretty much. I mean, Dr. Light, I'm gonna assume that maybe Dr. Light, I'm guessing what Dr. Light meant by the fact that, you know, he wants X to think, feel, and make his own decisions. I think he probably means that I don't know, he could probably be more advanced at that than Mega Man is, but who knows. Anyways, thanks for playing. Presented by Capcom, one of the most goated video game companies ever, as they made a lot of good releases this year, such as Resident Evil Requiem and the Pragmata game, which I did mention in my Mega Man 11 video. I love this music right here. But yeah, that was it for Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo. Hello? What the heck? You have won a temporary victory, X. What you destroyed was only a temporary body. My spirit remains intact. In time, I will find other bodies strong enough to do my bidding, and I will return. I shall see you soon, X. Very soon. Wow. Okay, well, I was not expecting Sigma to interrupt the credits theme and basically give both X and us, the players, a very scary threat, to where he announces that he's gonna be returning. And yeah, might as well mention it now, but yeah, this is a thing that's gonna happen a lot in the later entries, and it pretty much ends up becoming as predictable as Dr. Wily's actions in the classic series. So yeah, we will unfortunately be seeing this bald android countless times more than necessary. So yeah, that's gonna be a discussion for another time. And also I love how this message stays here until you either reset your console or turn off your console. Yeah, this literally stays here permanently until you turn off your console or reset it. So yeah, kind of a scary way to end the game, but I don't think any other SNES game, or I don't think any other SNES, NES, Game Boy, or Game Boy Color game have done this kind of thing. Not even the TMNT games I play on the NES, SNES, and Game Boy have done something like this, which is pretty creepy to think about. Okay. Anyways, that's it for Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And before we end out the video, I'm gonna be doing the same thing that I've done for the classic Mega Man videos, and we are gonna be looking at the museum. So anyways, so like I said, just like in the classic Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2, the X Legacy Collection also has a database and museum. So we're gonna be taking a look at all of these before we end the video, as that is how I do things. So this is the Japanese artwork for the game, and Also like the classic Mega Man Legacy collections, they use the Japanese artwork instead of the English. They use the Japan artworks instead of the US artworks. Thank God. I still don't like the US box arts for all of the Mega Man games from the 80s to 90s. As I always felt that the Japanese ones were better. I think, and it's also the same case for the Sonic games as well. But anyway, so this is pretty much like in the classic games, to where it features the main character, this case being X, as well as all the others. This case, the Robot Master's being replaced with Mavericks. We got Zero right there. I love how Sigma is just waving his hand like he's going, "Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm totally not gonna fuck your guys' shit up or whatever." But yeah, anyways, we're gonna read this right here. The year is 21XX AD. Reploids, robots with the ability to think and feel for themselves, are present throughout society, living in harmony with mankind. But when a Reploid suffers a cortex malfunction and becomes a threat to humans, it is reclassified as a Maverick. Okay, so that's where the term comes from. Now I remember. X is a member of the Maverick Hunters. His mission, to track down and destroy Mavericks before they can cause havoc and harm humans and other Reploids. Within the Maverick Hunters, one Reploid is renowned for being the mightiest of all, with a highly advanced cortex as well. This is Sigma, leader of the 17th unit and X's commanding officer. Sigma's prestige makes it all the more shocking when one day he announces a great rebellion against mankind, calling all Reploids to turn on their makers. The city is filled with terror as Reploids everywhere go berserk, but X stands firm against the chaos. His comrade Zero joins him in battles to come, strengthening the mysterious bond between them. So this right here is exactly, oh, excuse me. Okay, my bad. But this right here is exactly what Mega Man 10 had foreshadowed, because that game's plot involved Dr. Wily creating the robot Enza virus and made a lot of robots wreak havoc or go out of control or whatever. And yeah, and it seems 100 years later in 21XX, it has got even much worse now in the form of Reploids. So yeah, a very much darker story than what we've seen in the classic series, which is pretty crazy. This amount of lore, that both series have, that both the classic and X series have, especially with a lot of things that we saw in the classic series, that ends up foreshadowing this series. Oh my goodness! It really shows how well both classic Mega Man and Mega Man X connect with one another, which is pretty interesting. Anyways, here is X. X is a Reploid, a kind of sentient robot, and the hero of this adventure. As a member of the 17th unit of Maverick Hunters, X is tasked with tracking down and putting a stop to Mavericks, malfunctioning robots that pose a threat to humanity, which is literally the same thing Mega Man did in his series, by the way. No one knows for sure who created X or why, but he is dedicated to stopping the evil machination. I don't know how to pronounce this one. I'm so sorry. He is dedicated to stopping the evil machinations of Sigma, his former commander, who has gone rogue and now leads a rebellion against the human race. Despite X's exceptional abilities, he is still a B-class, middle-grade hunter. And although he is viewed by his fellow hunters as a rookie for his tendency to hesitate in the thick of battle, it is actually mercy, not inexperience, that stays his hand. Even when faced with the most despicable of Mavericks, his urge to deal justice to evildoers clashes with his underlying forgiving nature, keeping him from realizing the true power that lies within him. Only Zero and Sigma had begun to suspect his incredible potential, as they have mentioned. I think only twice in that game. No, 3 times actually. And here is Zero, who is by the way created by Dr. Wily. Zero is an SA class hunter who belongs to the Maverick Hunters 17th unit along with X. Fiercely opposed to evil in all its forms, he confronts Mavericks without a trace of pity or mercy and conducts his missions with a cool demeanor and unparalleled speed. Did that just say cool demeanor? Totally not something that Proto Man has did a lot of times in the classic series. And I think that's something that Base did as well, but anyways. Zero is one of the few to notice X's hidden potential, so he is eager to watch over X and guide him towards discovering his true power for himself. X, meanwhile, views Zero as a kind of role model, and as the only other hunter he can really open up to. In Zero's eyes, Sigma is nothing more than a maverick that needs to be hunted down and destroyed. For Zero, it's just another day on the job when he tells X to prepare for battles against Sigma's forces. Very true. And here is the main antagonist of the Mega Man X series, Sigma. Sigma is the greatest creation of Dr. Kane, the scientist who first developed Reploids. When he served as the leader of the Maverick Hunters 17th unit, with the X and Zero under his command, he was the ideal commander, calm and controlled when giving orders, but a furious whirlwind when called to fight. As things turned out though, he had only been displaying a fraction of his power, possessed of an exaggeration pride in his supreme strength, and perhaps unsatisfied with his role as a glorified police officer. One day, Sigma suddenly turned on his creators and called for all Reploids to rise up and destroy humanity. Many loyal Maverick Hunters fought against his forces, but none could stand for long against the world's strongest Reploid. Some were destroyed, but others bent the knee and joined Sigma's cause. Now only X and Zero are left to stop him. Sigma knows X hasn't realized his full potential, but he doesn't believe X poses a threat to his plans. Yeah, literally look what that got him. Anyways, here's Vile, a former Maverick Hunter of the 17th unit. Like Zero, Vile held the coveted SA class classification, but with a malfunction in his cortex, made him obsessed with destroying Mavericks, prioritizing the thrill of the hunts over lesser concerns such as orders and safety, in quotes. He was only a hair's breadth. A hair's breadth? What? What does that mean? I've never heard this word used before. From turning Maverick himself. As such, he was taken off duty and detained, but he broke loose during Sigma's uprising and is now free to resume his wanton carnage. Jeez. And here are the not robot masters, the first of which being Chill Penguin, Lord of the Snowy Plains. Penguin was designed for operating in sub-zero temperatures. He was deployed along with the 13th Polar Unit to guard a station at the South Pole, but soon grew tired of his dull, isolated life, and when the news of Sigma's uprising reached him, he saw his chance to return to civilization. He destroyed his own commander, made his escape, and joined up with Sigma. He's rowdy and belligerent despite his small stature, and gets along poorly with Flame Mammoth out of jealousy for his large size. Okay, that's hilarious. Currently, he is planning to use avalanches to crush cities near mountains under tons of snow. Oh yeah, that explains the snowballs in this stage that can somewhat cause damage to X for some reason. Anyways, Flame Mammoth, Fiery Oil Tinker. Mammoth spent years fighting in the deserts of the Middle East as leader of the 4th Land Unit. He saw Sigma's uprising as his first chance to really use his massive size to the fullest and go on record-breaking rampages of destruction. A crude bully, he uses his size to boss around anyone smaller or weaker than he uses his size to boss around anyone smaller or weaker than he is. Like Chill Penguin, right? Sigma has him guarding the captured factories, which he is planning to convert to produce weaponry. Interesting. Armored Armadillo, Steel Armored Warrior, leader of the 8th Armored Unit. Though Armadillo is a stoic soldier who never disobeys an order. He is loyal to a fault, continuing to obey Sigma's orders despite the fact that he has turned against humanity. The mine he has captured is the prime source of the raw materials Sigma needs to manufacture weapons. With the body shielded by stout steel, Armadillo is ideally suited to fighting underground. Storm Eagle, Prince of the Skies, leader of the 17th Airborne Unit, and as a taciturn, I hope I pronounced that right, careful strategist, Eagle's first reaction to Sigma's uprising was to fight against him, but realizing he was severely outmatched, he decided to join Sigma rather than be destroyed. Now he has taken control of the Death Rugamer, a new class of an aerial battleship, which X did destroy, and that it crash landed into Spark Mandrill's base or whatever that is. Okay, I'm pretty sure that gets mentioned here, but I could be wrong. Anyway, Sting Chameleon, spirit sharpshooter of the Hunted Forest. Chameleon was a highly skilled hunter operating with the 9th Special Unit Rangers, but his sly, sneaky tricks and sharp tongue left him unpopular, and he was never chosen for promotion to unit leader. Never one to pass up an opportunity, he has used Sigma's uprising as a means to rise through the ranks. Now he is grimly protective of his post as defender of a frontline base in the jungle. Very nice. Boomerang, space-time jumper. A fellow member of the 17th unit, the Beta-like Kwenger fought alongside X and Zero many times. He doesn't agree or disagree with Sigma's motives, he simply joined the uprising because it looked like more fun. The high-rise tower has taken over, should have been a shining symbol of the city's progress, but instead it has become an oppressive fortress. Within, Kwenger sits plotting, sneering at the despair in the city below. And here he is, Spark Mandrill, Lightning King of the Bullet Fists. More like Iron Fist, right? Anyways, Mandrill once fought with X and Zero in the 17th unit, but when the uprising began, he blindly followed Sigma's orders and joined him with the destruction. Now, by overtaking the power station, he has secured an energy source for Sigma's forces and cut off the power to the city. Because there is only light resistance, Mandrill leaves most of the fighting to his underlings, spending his time gorging himself on pure electricity fresh from the generator. I guess that makes sense as to why his area would go out after. Oh my god, there was an earthquake. What the heck was that? I was saying that makes sense as to how when X defeats Storm Eagle, it causes a blackout in his area. Anyways, Launch Octopus, military general of the deep. Octopus distinguished himself as a maverick hunter with the 6th Naval unit, but secretly always harbored contempt towards the weak humans he was tasked with protecting. Sigma's goals line up with his long-held dream of creating a Reploid nation, so he was among the first to join the uprising. He has deployed his fleet of whale, anglerfish, and eel-shaped mechanoids to assault cities built on the ocean and blockade important shipping lanes. Interesting. And this right here is what we saw at the beginning of the game. Might as well read it again, because why the heck not? X is the first of a new generation of robots which contain an innovative new feature, the ability to think, feel, and make their own decisions. However, this ability could be dangerous. If X were to break the first rule of robotics, a robot must never harm a human being, the results will be disastrous, and I fear that no force on Earth could stop him. And that right there is very ironic, considering Mega Man almost did it to Wily in Mega Man 7. Or at the very least, maybe at some points, I was going to say Dr. Wily. At some point, after that scene from that game, I think Dr. Light might have realized this, so maybe that's why he chose to do this, like seal X for 30 years, which is crazy. Anyways, approximately 30 years will be required before we can safely confirm his reliability. Unfortunately, I will not live to see that day, nor do I have anyone to carry on my work. Therefore, I have decided to seal him in this capsule, which will test his internal systems until his reliability has been confirmed. Please do not disturb the capsule until that time. X possesses great risks as well as great possibilities. I can only hope for the best. September 18th, 20XX. Sincerely, Dr. Thomas Light. Which, by the way, I think this is the only time he's mentioned in this gallery for whatever reason. But yeah, that's how you know right there. That's X was the final creation of Dr. Light. And overall, I think it's overall his fourth main creation. As, like I said, he created Proto Man first, then Mega Man, then Roll, and now X. So in a way, X is still related to Mega Man, and this is something that has never been addressed, even at this time, like 30 plus years later. Like there is still no true finale to the classic series that leads to the X series, because they actually show in the 20 plus minute cinematic that which you can actually view in this Legacy collection. I'm not going to show it in this video. You guys can actually look it up, or if you own this game, you can just check it out for yourselves. But there is a scene in that cinematic where there is a flashback to where X hears Light calling out to him, and then X wakes up, sees his dad, and then Lights confirms that he is his creation, or let me be more specific. He confirms that he is his last creation, and that's unfortunately due to his old age. He won't be able to survive to see what his final creation is fully capable of. And also that scene makes me wonder, because like, what even happened to the other characters? Like, what happened to Mega Man? Did he get defeated, or was he destroyed at some point? Did the same thing happen to Roll? Did the same thing happen to Otto? Did the same apply for Proto Man, Bass, Treble? Maybe Duo from Mega Man 8? Like what happened to all those guys? Like did they all get destroyed or defeated? It's never been fully clear at one point during the timeline between the classic and X series that leads up to this game. So again, that is still a mystery to this very day. That is still a mystery to this very day. So that'll be a discussion for the next few videos. Anyways, after that, we get to take a look at the artwork. So we got artwork of X without his armor upgrades, and this next one is the exact same, just with different shading in the art. And this is this one I am going to be using for the thumbnail for this video, by the way. So pretty cool, because X literally tries to shoot you in the face with his X Buster, which is kind of disrespectful, but it's whatever. And this right here is what you would see. I think one of the artworks, I think. Oh my god, I swear I've seen this before. Yeah, okay, it's literally in the game selection. Oh my god, I'm being so stupid right now. And that right there is that's literally the same pose. Yeah, literally the same pose, but this time with his armor upgrades on. Alright then. Alright, and we got him with his best buddy, with his bestie Zero. Interesting. But yeah, so might as well just get my opinions on Zero, but I really do like Zero as a character, and he is similar to how X is the younger brother of Mega Man. Zero is technically the younger brother of Bass, who first appeared in Mega Man 7, and for some reason made no appearance in Mega Man 11 for some reason, which is kind of odd. But yeah, so you can kind of see that he is a more advanced version of the robot that we saw in the classic series. So yeah, as I think I did say in some of my classic videos, but you know how in one of the flashbacks from Mega Man 11, where Dr. Wily said that if any robot becomes equipped with the gear system, it could potentially make a robot become a hero, and that actually ends up becoming true. It actually ends up becoming true in this series, to where, yeah, Zero is literally a hero, he's like, we literally see him working with X, who is Dr. Light's creation. So yeah, so in a way, Dr. Wily was correct. even if like even if it was unexpected, and even if he didn't plan on this or didn't think it would happen, he still correctly envisioned this. So yeah, so in a way, he was right that any robot could become a hero, and that applies to his final creation, Zero. And that Dr. Light was in the wrong for disagreeing with Wily. So yeah, pretty crazy. Anyways, we got Chill Penguin here. Oh yeah, by the way, I will give I do like Zero as a character. He's pretty cool. I do like how you never really see X or Zero take their helmets off. Maybe Zero has a few times, but you never see X take his helmet off. Unlike Mega Man, so kind of weird. But that'll be a discussion for another time. So, and I'll be saving my full thoughts for Zero later on in this retrospective. Anyways, we got Chill Penguin doing his slide move. Flame Mammoth doing his ground pound. Armored Armadillo firing a shot from his forehead, which he did do in the fight on his stage, as well as holding up his arm to block attacks. Storm Eagle doing his annoying dive move, which he unfortunately did in the refight, because he didn't actually do that move in the when we first fought against him. Got Sting Chameleon behaving like a real chameleon. We got Boomer Kawanger, which, by the way, apparently a Kawanger is some sort of an insect or a beetle or both. So yeah, so you can kind of see with his circle-shaped wings on his back. So pretty interesting. Spark Manager doing a ground pound, which I don't think he did it in the fight, but yeah, when he does this, he causes the electric sparks to he causes giant electric sparks to go along the ground. So I don't think he did it in the fight. All right, we got Launch Octopus shooting his fish-shaped missiles. And this is the Bow Spider, which in my opinion is the worst boss in this game due to the heavy reliance on RNG. It's always random on which location he's going to stop at. No matter how many times I've fought against him, I still cannot predict what this asshole is going to do. And this right here is the D-Rex, which unfortunately did not give me the pattern I wanted so that I can Hadouken him. But yeah, I do like the design. I actually like the designs of most of these, which is pretty nice. This is Rang the Bangda. So, and very luckily I was able to Hadouken the Blue Eye, which you can manipulate into moving towards you. So that way you can just Hadouken it. But yeah, pretty interesting right here. I like how it's just literally a face. Like, look at it. Yeah, we got Vile here. Oh wow! Apparently he has some sort of a buster on his knee. Someone never noticed that. I like how he has a cannon on his shoulder too. And I still can't believe I was able to Hadouken him in this video. Like, just literally just one shot his ass. That's hilarious. And here's him in his riot armor. Oh yeah, apparently this dog has a name. I forget, but I do remember that it starts with a V. It starts with a V, and yeah, and again, he looks exactly like Treble from the classic series, who is Bass's companion. No, except that he has no pupils. And here is Siggy Boy. Here is Siggy Boy himself. He looks really cool with this cape. He looks really cool with this cape on. So yeah. Oh wow, you can see that he already has a saber on on his torso there. So yeah, my man had it ready. My man already had the sword ready, or his lightsaber ready. And here's the artwork of the Wolf Sigma, and yes, that is the name of this form. But yeah, this form is the reason I can never play this game Buster only, because his attacks hit like a truck, and I'm talking like maybe 8 damage, maybe more than that, like maybe either 8 or 10 damage based on some of his attacks. And even the level 3 X Buster shot does 1 damage. So Yeah, it's pretty it's really insane because it's really I always find it so weird how X3 has like I find it weird how X3's final boss is way easier than this. Goodness, but yeah, I'll be explaining more on that when I get to that game in this retrospective. But yeah, I could never beat this game Buster only because he does way too much freaking damage. And by the way, I forget to mention it. I forgot to mention this when we did this phase. But this is the only boss. Well, this is the only boss in the game where you can't. This is the only boss in the game where it's actually where the Hadouken is actually ineffective against. Like there is actually this Taz speedrun that I've watched, and they playfully use the Hadouken on Wolf Sigma, and yeah, and it shows that it literally has no effect. Thankfully, in Maverick Hunter X, which is the PSP remake of this game, the Hadouken actually does work on Sigma. The Hadouken actually does work on Wolf Sigma. So figured I'd point that out. Anyways, and I believe this is his logo. Yeah, the E-shaped logo. So this is something that we will be seeing a lot in the later entries. And yeah, and this is and Dr. Wily also had his own logo as well. Dr. Wily also had his own logo during the classic series. So we will be seeing the same for Sigma's logo as well. Anyways, we got this robot with his own right armor. Interesting. This guy that we saw in Chill Penguin's Instinct Chameleon stages. This guy also in Sting Chameleon stage. This guy from Launch Octopus's stage. This mini boss, or one of the Warren mini bosses from that stage as well. This enemy too, which by the way, these guys can actually suck X into their mouths, and the only way X can get out of them is if he shoots his X Buster shots. Yeah, but thankfully you can take out this enemy with the Storm Tornado, as it does pierce through their it does easily pierce through them, you know, similar to the Thunder Beam from Mega Man 1. This enemy that we've seen a few times in a couple stages. This enemy that we've only seen Wait a minute! I just now realized this enemy looks a lot like the ones from. This enemy looks a lot like the Crystal Joe enemies, the Crystal Joes from Mega Man 5, that were in. Oh my god, whose stage was it? Yeah, the ones that we saw in Oh my god, who was that Robot Master? I'm trying to remember. Okay, so it's Crystal Man. It's Crystal Man. I just remember. Oh my god, my memory is so bad. But yeah, this enemy looks exactly like the Crystal Joes and Crystal Man stage from Mega Man 5. Dang, I can't believe it took me until this video to realize this. God dang, dude. Again, another reason why there's like so much connection. There's another reason why there's like so much connections between this series and the classic series, especially with how a lot of things in the classic series, like the enemies I just mentioned, literally foreshadow the series. Goodness gracious. Anyways, we got this thing that we saw. I think we saw a few times throughout the game. This ship that we can literally destroy in one hit with Storm Eagle in Launch Octopus's stage. This annoying enemy that we've seen a few times, and they will actually chase you sometimes, unless if you're able to make them despawn or if X shoots them. But yeah, they can be pretty annoying sometimes. This mini boss that we saw in Spark Mandrill stage, and why does this look like it has teeth and that it's making a creepy smile? Good luck unseeing that. Anyways, the seahorse enemies that we saw in Launch Octopus's stage, which we did ignore completely with the charged up rolling shield. And this enemy as well that we did see in the couple stages. I guess, and this annoying enemy that we saw in Storm Eagle stage. Oh yeah, this one. Okay, this one we saw in Flame Mammoth stage. So I think it's like a scrap. I think it's like a scrapped, like unfinished piece versions of the the typical enemies. But you know, this one we saw in Chill Penguin stage that will throw snowballs at you, which remind me a lot of the snowman from Sonic Advance 3 and Twinkle Park Zone. I think I even said this in my original playthrough in 2020. Interesting. Anyways, this enemy that we did see in a couple stages, like Chill Penguins and Armored Armadillos. This turret that we saw in Boomer Kuwanger stage, along with the red platform that X can literally wall jump off of. Another turret enemy. Oh god. Okay, so we've seen enemies like this in the classic series games, such as Mega Man 1 and Mega Man 11, to where, at least in Mega Man 1, where they only show up in Gutsman stage, where they would throw a bunch of pickaxes at Mega Man. The same applies for this enemy type. Only this time they throw only one pickaxe at X. And I think that was the same case for Mega Man 11, to where they always throw one pickaxe at Mega Man's current location. So same applies here. So they're still annoying as the ones that we saw in that series. Oh, okay, I just realized. But yeah, this is actually the interior of Storm Eagle's ship where we fight him on. Yeah, it took me a while to realize that for some reason. This turret that we've seen in Boomer Kuwanger stage, I believe. Yeah, Boomer Kuwanger stage and in Sigma stage 2. And this Flybot, or this Dragon Flybot rather, that we've seen in Chill Penguin stage. Alright, this Batbot, which we didn't actually see during the playthrough, but it only shows up once in Armored Armadillo stage. And these are the same enemy types that we've seen in the classic series. So yeah, so apparently they're still around even after 100 years later. Crazy. And this is like the new version of that enemy type. I don't know the names of these, unfortunately. For some reason this database / museum doesn't mention them by name for whatever reason, but yeah, it is what it is. This giant insect mini boss that we saw twice in the intro stage. This ostrich-like enemy that we've seen in a couple of stages. Sure hope this isn't the basis for one of the Mavericks for Mega Man X2. I sure hope not. Anyways, I forgot to bring this up, but the X series still features Mets, or at least sometimes called Met tools. And yeah, we did see them in a couple of stages. We saw them in Armored Armadillo stage, and we also saw them in Stink Chameleon stage, where they will launch their small worms. So yeah. So again, these enemy types are literally the Goomba, literally Mega Man's version of the Goombas. So we see these guys in literally every game and in every series. Goodness gracious. This turret that we saw in Storm Eagle stage. This Sniper Joe-like enemy that we've seen in a couple of stages. It's literally the same Sniper Joe design. Just just as a mechanoid. But yeah, enemies, these ball walker enemies that we've seen a few times. These small flybots that we've seen only in Spark Mandrill stage when the lights go out. We've seen this one a few times. This woodpecker enemy that we've only seen once in Stink Chameleon stage, as they will cause these small green caterpillars to come out, or fall from the trees rather. We got this turtle enemy, which by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but you can actually manipulate their AI into shooting their balloon bombs so that X can easily avoid them by dash jumping. So yeah, so literally the same thing I did in my classic Mega Man videos, where you can literally exploit an enemy's AI to your advantage to be able to get past them easily. I have mentioned that a couple of times in my classic series videos. This enemy that we've seen, I think a few times in the game. I think the most prominent one was in Armored Armadillo stage, when going on that last cart section to reach the Hadouken-like capsule. That's when the swarm of these enemies start spawning. And here is the regular Met in its new modernized design. So yeah, again, it's really crazy how these guys are still around even after the classic series. Crazy. this thing that we saw in Armored Armadillo stage. And again, even if you off-screen it, you can still hear it exploding. It'll never not be funny. And this discount Stink Chameleon-like enemy, which again reminds me of the those bug enemies from Mega Man 3 that we only saw twice in Snake Man stage, and in whose stage was it? Yeah, in Doc Robot Gemini Man stage. Anyways, this rolling enemy, which kind of looks like the ones, look a lot like the ones that we saw in Turbo Man stage from Mega Man 7. And another turret from Storm Eagle stage. This thing that we saw in Boomer Kuwanger stage, but you cannot actually destroy them, because if X triggers one of those pink searchlights at the start of Boomer stage, then that's when they will activate and start shooting at him. We got this rabbit enemy that we've only seen once, I think, in Chill Penguin stage, which kind of remind me of the ones from Mega Man 2 that only show up in Woodman stage, where they will fire their carrots, carrot-shaped missiles. But yeah, interesting. We got this guy in his cart that we also saw in the intro stage. Okay, I forget which enemy this was. I might have to rewatch the video. We got Discount Auto right here, which I feel like Dr. Light might have set up to, Dr. Light might have set up to have a fight against X, so that way he would reach his capsule. That's my headcanon. I don't know if that's ever been fully confirmed, but again, that's just my theory. Anyways, the behind the scenes process of X's design, as this is him without his armor. This is bio. Okay, so I think this is like going over the heights and stuff. Maybe. Oh yeah, and that ring thing on his ear. So it looks like that was being created as well. We get to see his backside. So yeah, this guy really is the advanced version, as well as the successor to Mega Man, but also his younger brother technically, despite being much more mature. Even though even though Mega Man has shown to have some maturity in games like Mega Man 7, 8, Base, maybe even Mega Man 5 on Game Boy, and in Mega Man 11. But yeah, and literally. Wait, is this the same? Yeah, this is the exact same artwork. This is the exact same artwork, but with his armor upgrades. Kind of impressive for the that's kind of impressive for the artist to really impressive for the artist to alter the art of the character using his equipped with his upgrades. So pretty cool stuff. Yep, literally the same thing for his backside. Yeah, literally the same thing. Alright, and this is him firing the spiral charge shot with his X-Buster. I think that's what it was called. So yeah, it's a pretty cool move. Unfortunately, it does very little damage to Wolf Sigma. So your best bet is to use Armored Armadillo's weapon against him. This is him firing the regular charge shot. This is him dashing, which again is this game's version of the slide from the classic series, only except that it makes you go faster. This is him crushing the blocks with his head upgrade. Oh, and this is him doing his guarding pose whenever he takes damage. So that happens when he gets the body part. And this is him doing the wall jump, which is his own exclusive ability that Mega Man wasn't capable of doing. And speaking of which, there was actually a few Robot Masters who were capable of either wall jumping or just briefly clinging onto walls, as we saw Swordman do that briefly in Mega Man 8, and Pluto was also capable of doing that as well in his fight in Mega Man 5 on Game Boy. So yeah, and I even said in my video on that game where he was capable of latching on the walls long before X could, and now we're finally seeing it come to fruition here. So pretty interesting. So, and like I said, this ability is very useful for avoiding bottomless pits, because if there's a moment where X almost falls into a pit, and if he touches the wall with his feet at the last second, he can save himself. Something that classic Mega Man again was not able to do, as he will rely on having to tiptoe slightly before jumping across the gap, which is something that I've done a lot on my classic Mega Man videos. This is X firing the shotgun ice, which is very similar to the freeze cracker from Mega Man 7, but more powerful. This is him firing the rolling shield, the uncharged version, as it literally rolls across the ground. And yeah, it's really perfect for grounded type enemies, similar to Snake Man, similar to Snake Man's weapon from Mega Man 3. This is him firing the homing torpedo, which again, as I said previously, is very similar to Mega Man's dive missile from Mega Man 4, as it will home it on enemies. I didn't get a chance to use it a whole lot throughout the playthrough, but it is super useful for targeting enemies from any direction. So literally the same thing as the dive missile from that game. This is him firing the fire wave, and like I said, it is similar to Burner Man's weapon from Mega Man and Beast, where as long as the shot button is held, X will keep on firing, or in the case, or if he gets his arm upgrade, which will allow him to charge up his special weapons. It only lasts for a while. Until his X Buster level reaches 3. So be sure to keep that in mind. This is him firing the boomerang cutter, which is very similar to the rolling cutter from which is very similar to Mega Man's rolling cutter, which he attains from defeating Cutman. So yeah, and I feel like this is definitely a more improved version of Cutman's move from that game, to where X can fire three boomerangs as opposed to only one like Mega Man could. Yeah, helps out a lot. This move is the electric spark. Like I said, if it touches a wall, the ball will split into two directions, and it's also capable of harming Armored Armadillo if he's actually far to the left or far to the right. So it helps to the left too. Here's X firing the Storm Tornado, acquired from Storm Eagle. And I should note that Storm Eagle also does the Storm Tornado move, but doesn't cause damage, strangely enough. But either way, helps out a lot. And again, this is literally this game's version of the Thunder Beam. Can literally pierce through anything. And here's him firing the Chameleon staying. And okay, I feel like the devs ran out of names to come up with for this weapon, so they just choose to swap Sting and Chameleon in reverse. It's like, what the heck? Yeah, doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter though. So you can see right here, fires in 3 different directions, and then when he charges up the move, it will make him temporarily invulnerable to pretty much every enemy attack. And funny thing, or not funny thing, but fun fact actually, Zero ends up getting this exact same move in Mega Man 01 if you get all these Cyber Elves, or at the very least in the Legacy Collection version of that game. If you turn on Casual Scenario mode, Zero has the exact same ability, to where I think if he charges up one of his weapons, yeah, he literally has the same ability where he flashes in different colors and becomes invincible to pretty much all damage until it eventually runs out. So there's your fun fact right there. Anyway, some more concept artwork of X. Let's say 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 without his armor, and 2 with his armor on. And look at him smiling right here. Here's another one. More concept artwork of the boy smiling. Here's him locking in. So another one with that expression. He looks so babyish. Alright, concept artwork of Zero right here. Very nice. So more of this stuff, which I do enjoy. Concept artwork of Chill Penguin. Pretty cool design. Concept artwork of Flame Mammoth. Also, very cool design as well. Oh wow, what are these things on his back? I never actually questioned this until now. I'm guessing this is what I'm guessing this is I don't know what he used to control the conveyor belts, or actually no, because when X removes his trunk with his boomerang cutter, yeah, he's no longer able to do that. So not really sure what the point of that is. I don't know, maybe to power him up or something. I don't know. Forget about that's there. Concept artwork of Armored Armadillo. Oh wow, okay, so his tail is yeah, his tail is like literally made of steel, it seems, or at least at the top part anyway. That makes sense. It's Storm Eagle. Very cool design as well. Sting Chameleon. Oh wow. So okay, so Sting Chameleon only has one eye, while his other is like you know, like robotic like. I don't know the best way to put that. But yeah, and I also like how he's got like spikes on both sides of his he's got spikes on both sides of his tail too. And we got Boomer Kawanger right here. He's got he kind of reminds me a whole lot of second form Frieza for some reason, with the way his horns are shaped, as well as oh no, oh my god. All right, unfortunately, my PS5 controller has fallen victim to the stick drift effect. So that's wonderful. So looks I'm gonna have to fix it. After I finish recording this video. At the very least, I'm gonna have to use my other one if it continues to act up like this. But yeah, pretty cool right here. Okay, so yeah, so he does have the normal wings on his back. So I don't think you really see the lights until he's active or when he fights. Concept artwork of Spark Mandrill. Yeah, okay, so I think Spark Mandrill is literally a monkey, it seems. So yeah, because he's already giving some Donkey Kong vibes. Interesting. Alrighty, and Launch Octopus. It kind of looks like Squidward from SpongeBob, who is also an octopus, by the way, not an actual squid. But yeah, very nice. Concept artwork of Vile. I don't know why, but Vile kind of reminds me of that one Star Wars character. I forget his name. I might need to like rewatch. Might have to rewatch some of the shows or movies or something. It's been a long time, but he low-key reminds me of that one Star Wars character. I think it's Darth Vader or something, or no, like both that and also one of the Power Rangers characters. Like he literally looks like one of those. Anyways, his backside. He's got that that pack right there, on which I think, I don't know, makes him function or whatever. And here is Siggy Boy. His own concept artwork. You can see that he still has his sword on his torso there. So I really do dig Sigma's design, and we will be seeing more designs like this in the later entries of the series. So yep, that's how you know that this man was the former commander of the Maverick Hunters before he decided to go all evil, which I will delve into in the later games. But yeah, I mean, I did mention this briefly during my Mega Man 11 video, but yeah, there's like a lot of lore reasoning behind that, so we will be seeing that later in this retrospective. More concept artwork of Vile. More concept artwork of Sigma. Well, why does it look like he has sharp? Why does it look like he has sharp teeth there? Jeez. Concept artwork of the Dr. Light capsules. And this is something that a lot of people had questioned, but how many of these capsules was Light able to conveniently leave around just for X to have access to them? Like, I like to think that before his apparent death, I think he managed to send out all these drones and place these capsules at very specific and convenient locations for X to find. So That to this day also remains a history. So yeah, I'm guessing for this reason, Dr. Light might be the most smartest doctor in the entire Mega Man franchise. Crazy. Concept artwork of the Extra Life icon, which by the way, I did use as part of my YouTube, which I did use as part of my join emote. So if you guys want to become a channel member, if you guys want to become a channel member, you can feel free to do so. It's recommended that you join the super member. So it's recommended that you join the super member, as it's only $1.99 a month. So yeah. So this right here is one of the emotes that I put in, and there's also the sub tank, which for some reason still has the E on them. Because now that has me thinking it's an E tank, because I've been playing the classic series games too much. Goodness gracious. Alright, not done yet. This is Sigma's lightsaber. And once again, bro really thinks he was a Jedi during that fight. Or at least in that second phase anyway. Which I did one shot with the Hadouken. Concept artwork of Chill Penguins statues. As well as whoever's foot this is. I don't think that's X's. Maybe Sigma's probably. Yep, it is Sigma's. Yep, that's what I thought. You can literally tell with the spikes there. Alright, there's some more stuff and a random missile artwork there. Oh, this is Boomer Kawanger. Whoa. Wait a minute. This guy looks a lot like Beef from the classic series, or at least he looks a lot like he looks a lot like the enemy. That he looks a lot like the egg dropping bird enemy from Mega Man 2, which I did mention was an Airman stage, but is also in Wily stage 1. I just not realized, because there's even a dinosaur egg too. Oh wait, okay, never mind. This is actually the same robot bird that Storm Eagle used as one of his attacks in the game. Damn, I just not realized. Why did I think this was scrapped? Why did I think this was a scrapped enemy design? But no, this was actually one of his attacks during his fight. There's some health pickups, weapon pickups, and life, and the heart tanks. Oh my god, I was about to say life pickup, but no, that is the heart tank. Alrighty, and I think that's pretty much everything that we looked at in the gallery / museum. Alrighty, good stuff. Alrighty, so we are going to end off the video. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna listen to this theme. It's so good. Yeah, and we are gonna set it on loop. Ish. Man, I love this game's password theme. It's so good. This low-key sounds like something you would hear in Mega Man 7, which also has a password theme, but it does not hold a candle to this whatsoever. It's so good. I love it a lot. But anyways, guys, that is gonna be it for my first Mega Man X video for the X retrospective on my channel. Like I said, I have done a playthrough of this game before, back in 2020, 6 years ago, and it was during the time where I was at college, and it was on my 4th year of doing content creation, by that point I already had access to a capture card, so I was able to record footage without having to use a camera, thank god. But I think my commentary was kind of bad in that video, so yeah, so it's a good thing that I have improved since then, even though it's only been 6 years, but still. So yeah, so honestly glad to have revisited this game, and I will be revisiting X2. I do remember also doing a playthrough of Mega Man X2, but never got around to finishing it. So yeah, so it seems that with this retrospective, I can finally do what I said in my original playthrough of Mega Man X1 all those 6 years ago. So yeah. So anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. The next game that I'm gonna be covering in the Mega Man X retrospective will be Mega Man X2. I was about to say Mega Man 2. The next game I'm gonna be covering in the Mega Man X retrospective will be Mega Man X2, starting next Friday. So I hope you guys are having a good day, night, evening, depending on which time zone you're in. And I will see you guys in my next video. So peace out, take care, and stay safe.